Hey guys, it's Danny. Welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, the topic is going to be how you can learn Python for free. What are the different resources out there that are available to help you master the Python programming language with you paying zero money? Now, towards the end of this video, I'm going to argue why you probably should invest a little more than nothing when it comes to teaching yourself a programming language. But for starters, I want to give you guys 3 incredible resources that I used for free when I was first teaching myself Python. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. The first resource that I found to be the most useful and by far the best in terms of quality and, quite frankly, quantity is YouTube. Now, I know that's probably no shock, and no doubt you probably clicked on this video because you might have been looking at other coding YouTube videos. And the reality is that YouTube, being a free platform for the moment, is just such a great repository for information when it comes to learning a programming language, especially one as popular as Python. I believe in particular Python is the 3rd most popular programming language in the world, behind, I want to say, HTML and JavaScript, something like that. I'll throw up a chart right here, but it's all that to say Python is extremely popular. And so as a result, you're going to be able to find a plethora of videos out there on the internet that are either teaching you the syntax from the ground up or teaching you how to do something very niche and specific to a project that you might be working on as you become more advanced in your programming ability. Now, which YouTube videos out there should you watch, right? I guarantee if you YouTube how to learn Python, over probably like 1 million results might come up. Definitely, if you Google how to learn Python, you'll be sure to get at least that many results. But for me personally, I would highly recommend this YouTube video that I'm putting up on your screen now by Free Code Camp. Now, Free Code Camp is a website that we will talk about in just a second, but their YouTube channel is chocked full of hundreds of videos that is basically teaching you anything you could possibly ever want to learn when it comes to definitely Python, but also to other programming languages out there. However, when I was first learning how to code, as you could probably tell by the date that this video was uploaded, this was by far the sort of pinnacle for me when I was first starting out, going from the very basics of learning the syntax to performing slightly more advanced things such as declaring functions, creating classes, and even working with some more idiosyncratic concepts like lambda functions and generators. I know it is an extremely long course, but I would highly recommend anyone just go ahead and watch it through in its entirety, because I guarantee you are going to come out the other side of watching it knowing literally so much more than you did when you were going in. The second sort of subcategory of YouTube videos that I would highly recommend to anybody are actual lectures done by professors. In particular, I would highly recommend Harvard's CS50 Introduction to Computer Programming course that they upload completely for free every semester, or at least once a year, on YouTube. Now, for me, this was a video I watched when I was sort of deeper into my coding journey, when I was actually understanding how to code in Python, but still not as well versed in the sort of basic computer science concepts. This video by far changed the game for me. It really shifted in my mindset from just simply knowing how to code to starting to think like a programmer. The professor, I believe his name is David J. Milan. I'll throw up his social media right here. He is just a fantastic professor and quite literally doesn't come close to anybody else that I ever had in an actual college setting in terms of, number one, his passion, but also number 2, his ability to communicate things clearly. So as a result, I would highly recommend watching this YouTube series along with any other video that is teaching you the syntax of the Python programming language. Now, there are plenty of other YouTubers out there, namely Alex the Analyst, Tech with Tim. These guys are very good when it comes to learning Python, and I would highly recommend going to their channels, subscribing to them, because you are going to ultimately learn a ton as you are progressing in your coding journey. However, this brings us to sort of the second component that I would definitely like to stress with all of you watching out there, and that is you're going to need a way to practice what you are learning. A lot of these videos, they do a great job in showing you how to code, but they don't actually afford you the ability to code. Now, you can download a IDE and follow along in your script as to what the person is teaching you to do. But until you actually are sort of practicing on your own, it's going to be slightly more difficult to be able to land and understand those concepts. I know when I'm coaching my personal Python clients, as I'm trying to teach them how to code in Python, this is something that they actually have given me feedback on, and that they want more exercises. They want more opportunities to showcase what they are learning in a classroom setting, in a sort of quote unquote real world environment, however structured it might be. So I would highly recommend a couple of other online, I wouldn't necessarily classify them as boot camps, but definitely other online resources that can be of help in practicing what you're learning in the classroom. So the first one is going to be Code Academy. Now, Code Academy, you can sign up for free, and they have a fantastic introduction to Python module that allows you to code within the terminal on your web browser, which I personally find to be extremely useful. The second resource that I would highly recommend, and this sort of only applies to those of you who might be interested in going into a field like data science or machine learning, and that's going to be DataQuest. Why? Well, because similarly to how Code Academy does it, the in-browser terminal is extremely useful when it comes to actually applying and answering the exercise questions that they give you at the end of every single section. On top of that, why I love DataQuest so much is that every single module ends with some sort of capstone project. It ends with some sort of data set that you are then asked to go and build an ML model with, albeit probably very simplistic as you're just first learning machine learning and how to code in Python. So things like the Titanic dataset are used in their course. I believe there's a dataset on FIFA, the video game soccer players, right? The video game by EA Sports. And they just simply ask you to build a model in Jupyter Notebooks to be able to just really help you apply the concepts you have learned thus far in the module. So those are two sort of quote unquote quasi boot camps that you can start for free, but at some point, normally they put them behind the paywall, whether it's because they only offer a 2-week free trial or to get access to more resources and material for that particular career/skill path section. They're going to charge you some kind of monthly premium. So while it does suck that a lot of the best resources out there, but it does make sense, do cost the most money, it does make sense once you start to understand and need some more help in progressing in your coding journey in Python to go ahead and invest those funds accordingly. I know that's what I did, and I definitely look back and I'm so glad that I did that because it really took my coding ability to the next level. The final resource that I would say you definitely can try checking out for free are books. You see, if you're a university student, I know a friend of mine who actually got a $70 book for free just because he had access to his student library and could download the PDF of this book completely for free. And so I would highly recommend for those of you who are students out there, see if you can download any resources at all from your local school library. In particular, any book by the publisher O'Reilly as it relates to Python, I have personally found just to be absolutely fantastic. Now, because I chose to go down the data science machine learning route of things, I read the book Python for Data Analysis by a guy named Wes McKinney, I think his name might be. I'm probably butchering that. It's probably completely something different, but he was actually the creator of the Python libraries Pandas. And while that's beyond the scope of this course, the point being, it was a super awesome book to read. And I was actually able to apply some of what I was learning in my first finance job straight out of college. The second book that I read that I found to be just absolutely fantastic was, I believe it was called Python for Machine Learning with Scikit-learn and TensorFlow, the second edition. I believe they're on the third edition now. A bit more expensive of a book, but just so amazing to walk through and learn the concepts and core fundamentals of machine learning. And what was super awesome is just how the book is designed is it's sort of a cross between like reading somebody's terminal, right? The code on the screen of a person coding, and a literal book, because they walk you through the code snippets that he himself is coding as he's teaching you these concepts. So definitely I would recommend, if you could try to look for any books by O'Reilly out there for free, highly recommend doing that. And as it relates to your particular field of interest, no doubt there are going to be resources out there on how to build web frameworks using Flask and Django, or if you want to go down the data science route, there are definitely resources out there like the ones I just said that are going to be available for you to study. And so there you have it, you guys. Those are sort of 3 areas of free resources, namely YouTube videos, free trials for boot camps and books that you could possibly get for free out there on the internet that are going to sort of literally bring the barrier to entry into learning Python down to zero. Because who doesn't want to learn a skill that has the potential to change your life for absolutely nothing? Now, again, I would encourage you at some point probably do invest not tons of money, right? Not tens of thousands of dollars into a boot camp offered by some Ivy League institution because they are a name brand institution and their name on a piece of paper means something. But if you're going to spend a couple hundred, even a couple $1,000s, like $2,000 to $3,000 on bettering yourself at Python, the return on the investment is literally going to be so huge, right? The average entry-level developer salary, I believe, is something like $128,000, and that's not even like looking at specialized areas such as data science and machine learning, where I believe the average is closer to like 150 at the time of this video. I could be mistaken, but I'll put the actual number up here so you can see it. And that's simply because the quality of what you're going to get in return, as opposed to something for free, is going to be much higher and is going to be more helpful for you as you're progressing down this road. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Comment down below, are there any other resources or free resources out there that I didn't mention in this video that you have found to be extremely helpful on your journey? But with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.